Morning.
Morning, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, good. I'm good. And you?
Have you had any snow there yet?
Oh, let me check. It was snowing yesterday. Nah, no snow. It's cold though. It's frigid. How about your
Yeah.
side?
No, we didn't have any snow yet, but it is cold.
Yeah.
Well, relatively cold.
We saw I was test driving cars yesterday, and some of the places we went through you could see like it was quite shadowy and up in the hill, and it was ice all around. Like, oh, there's a good test for it. It was all-wheel drive.
Yeah. I've got winter tires still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't swap them yet, so that should be fine.
Nice. When is it meant to snow? It's been pretty dry, so I guess that's the only thing that's holding it up. It's cold enough. We're -3 now. All this week is -3, -4, -4, -3. Then
Yeah,
it gets up.
-3 yesterday. Today it's -1. A bit warmed up.
Yeah. Sunday's 11 degrees. Crazy. It'll feel like summer then. All right, how did you get on yesterday?
Missed all the trades yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do anything.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see what today goes.
So I had a little recap yesterday, and then we'll talk about what's happened. So this is the plan yesterday. We had I'm on the 4-minute, 5. We'll start with the 5-minute. So I had a zone over here down the bottom. I've just added a couple of little things, playing around with it. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see. I want to remove this grey box. Oops, that's not the grey box. This one. So I've had this zone in since the start of this year. This green zone, this little green box. And if we go over to the left, you can sort of see where it started, like where we, where's my pen? Where we wicked up over here, wicked up, and then price really accelerated. Then we've got this monthly level. This black line's my monthly level, monthly close level. If I go to a lower time frame, like say our hour, we can see sessions. So these are the colored boxes. You can see that we did have at the start of, let me just make it so you can all see. Okay, so we've got London high, New York low. Get down here, we get plenty of wick rejections. We've got a liquidity candle right here. If I zoom in, I'll show you on that one. So liquidity candle, lovely engulfing, bullish engulfing candle right over here. So there's a lot of liquidity contained in this wick. So what I was looking for was a reaction from this area yesterday. Price opened, okay, we came down, and I didn't know which level was going to hold, whether it was going to be this gray zone or this zone. I knew there was nothing really in terms of support between here and here. So I was only looking to see if we get a decent reaction at this point or this point. Now I trade London open, so this is the London open candle, and what we got yesterday is a start. The first candle. This is the first candle. Just going to get my other screen tool. This is a little bit annoying. Okay. So this is how we opened yesterday. Opened with no bottom wick. No top wick, and then just went straight down. So 5-minute candle, plenty of volatility. Nearly, what was that, like about 75 pips in this first 5 minutes. That's not a normal, like, it's not like just that's an institutional candle. So opening with no top wick and then just shooting straight down gives me a lot of confidence that that's not the high of the session. Okay, so it's pretty comfortable trading back up towards that way. Just didn't want to get caught in anything in case it was going to do a couple digs. So you need to wait for like conviction that buyers are stepping in or that sellers are slowing down. So it's likely to slow down if you've got an area that you like, and this is the area that I liked. Then price gave on a lot of the time frames, the 3 minutes, the 4 minutes, the 5 minutes. It gave starting to get like these rejection candles where they break the candles to the left and then they close bullish. So I jumped into this trade when this one closed. My price I got in was around 99. So when that one closed, price pushed down, and I was talking a lot at that time yesterday, and that's where I got in. Where I was targeting was at least for it to come up to here, but I really wanted to see it take out the euro high, which was also my Asian 50% line. So that's what this bad boy was over here. Now price pushed up from this level, and it's not on this time frame. Let's go to, was it the 3 minutes that we were looking at that stage? It showed maybe 10 minutes, but it showed something that I said it's going to start ranging. Let me just play around with the time frames. We'll find it. And as you'll see, why this is that box, this grey box here. So 15 minute. No, 5 minute, 4 minute, 4 minute. Okay, I was on the 4 minute time frame. So when I see something like this, we've got a candle, like lovely bullish engulfing candle again, and then we've got like a rejection wick, rejecting from the bottom of the euro session. So when we see a wick rejection from the top side, wick rejection from the bottom side, so it's quite likely that we're going to get stuck in a little bit of a range. And where I want to get in is for this trade to go well, I want to see something close above. Once we close above, then we don't really want to see anything closing below this side of the range. Again, it can come back into that range and pick up more liquidity, but I really don't want to see it break through the other side of that range. So that's what happened. So I got into the trade it was on this candle, on the 5 minute time frame. When that one closed, next one opened, ended up getting into the trade somewhere around here. Got caught in this range, just holding it, just letting the trade sit and sit and sit. And I said, I'm going to scale in if price can close outside of here. So scaled in, price pushed up, came back, had to sit through a little bit of, because my target was up here, and I had to watch. Well, I didn't actually watch. We ended the stream somewhere around here. Target was all up here. First entry was here. Second entry was here. Well, I said I had 4 entries. The first entry was 2 positions. It was one I can manage it a lot easier. This one here was another 2 positions. On average, my scale in positions are smaller than my original position. So my average price ended up being somewhere like around here. So I did. When I looked at the charts, I did see price had come all the way back, and it actually dipped, and I was in a little bit of drawdown at some stage. But ultimately this level held. Price managed to push up, gave a second push. I ended up closing about here when it came up to that level. So it was a good day in the end. Good day in the end. Then we had some comments come through. We had some comments. I'm not going to have time to go back and find it, but essentially it was we had ECB speakers come through again. Holzman again. I think it was Holzman again, and then another fella, not Nagel this time, or maybe it was anyway. But they basically just reiterated the point. They said the same thing, that we're on our way to target, but it's too optimistic to call rate cuts yet. Then we got some data coming out of the US, I'll go to Financial Forex Factory for that. Morning, Maron. We had some data coming out of the US later on, and it was a big negative for Empire State Manufacturing. We also had some Fed speakers having a chat. That Christopher Waller again from the Atlanta Fed, I think. No, it's Bostic. Anyway, he's been moving the market a bit with his comments, and he sort of says like, this is why it can be quite difficult for fundamentals. He'll say two things completely. One is bullish case, one is bearish case, and the market will react on one of them and say, "Oh my God, he said this," but he also said this. But the market doesn't seem to react to that. But then it will react later on. It's can be really tricky when you see these guys speaking, because they're like, it's like Powell when he speaks. He doesn't really give much away. Anyway, what this is stoked is recession fears. So this has led to a bit of a sell-off. So at the moment, I don't want to stand in the way of this sell-off. Also, Germany's been quite affected by the Chinese stock market, the Chinese housing crisis. That's also pulling down commodity currencies. So whilst this is falling, we don't want to stand in the way of it, because it's starting to break through a few more. Like, I was happy to keep a bullish bias and then just take bounces off support when we're still up here, when we're still in this range, still seeming to see if this was a liquidity grab or if we can get bounces. Now we're starting to fall like this. This is getting a little bit dangerous to hold on to that bullish bias until we actually see some real conviction come back in, because in my eyes, a recession would be healthy. It would be healthy to correct some of this move. So we're going to have to see, because at the moment, when it rose up so aggressively, it didn't leave a whole lot of it left a lot of liquidity behind. Didn't leave a whole lot of areas. There's a lot of gaps, so we could see sharp little moves coming to the downside. So it's probably better to actually be looking for sells today, but just tread carefully, because these bearish moves can be hard. Can be hard because you can get a big move, you can get a really sharp move down, you can get a really big pullback. So yeah, I'm gonna have to play carefully today. Now, had an excellent trade on NAS last night. Didn't hold it, but this one, same deal, getting affected by the same comments. But we had this lovely rally all the way up. Then we had right on London close at 4 o'clock UK time. This candle, if Don's watching, he would have been keeping an eye on that. This is the 4 o'clock candle. So I do like to see a decent extension. So it moved at this stage from 177 pips from the low to the high, and then we get into this London close territory between 4 and 5 p.m. UK time. If we've extended the range and we're playing up near a zone of interest or point of interest, you often get a good pullback. And this right on the dot, right on 4 o'clock, this candle moved like 80 pips in a minute, or 86 pips in a minute. And the confirmations are there, you know. We're starting to show some rejections up here. 3 minute candles giving like this is like a little tiny rejection candles. And then Wishka. So I jumped in on this one. I only got it down to, I was shocked how fast it moved, but my take profit was here. Then it just went down so much further. Then when you look at it now, it just pales in comparison. I'm looking at thinking this is just going to be a little correction. Stop loss is a little bit wider. It was like a 1-to-1. I was a little bit worried about if it just spiked up and then it's just absolutely just giving up the ghost. Now it's looking like I wish I held a runner. But anyway, was a good day yesterday. Really happy. Made up for Monday. Monday was shocking. All right, so gold is also, I'm also very keen for gold. Very keen. So if German's going to be bearish and giving me a little bit of anxiety about what level is going to hold, because I don't really want to short it, but I don't want to take longs either when it's looking like that. Gold, on the other hand, I'm pretty comfortable looking to the left, because anywhere from 2000 up to 2015, we should have some decent supports, to be honest. Especially 2004, I'm really looking forward to price reacting off of 2004, which lines up with a lovely daily area. So over all through this zone, all through here. I think this is going to be very interesting to see what price does when it gets into this territory, because I think 2000 is the floor. So I'm really keen to see what it does. Cool. So we've got 13 minutes. So I'm really keen to watch what German does, because I really want to see an impulsive strong move. If I see an impulsive strong move, like this is the trend that's been happening lately. Let me go to the start of the year. And this will make it really easy to look for a scalp. Doesn't matter the direction. So let's go back to the start of the year, and then I'll open up the floor. Okay, so we've still got thinner market conditions with normally like the second half of January starts getting a bit more volume into the market. Okay, so this is the third. Here's the second. Here's the second. Okay. So when we get like a strong impulsive move from the open, it's not usually the low of the London session. So this is a probability game. Strong impulsive push up means institutionals are at play. They're looking for liquidity. Price eventually hits the area of liquidity. That's the area of liquidity you got to find is yet to be determined. But when you get a strong impulsive move from the open, it's not usually going to be the low. Usually the low will you usually get wicks on either side of a London session. Okay. Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, guys, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, guys. So on the 3 minute, this did open impulsively. Now you usually get wicks on either side of a London session, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so same thing here. Initial move. This is only a really shallow move, but see how open and no bottom wick. This went straight up. Fair bit of volume. Like it's a huge session. This is 200 pips. This is a massive session. You've got to understand this is bigger than normal. But this open, even that pushing up is like nearly 30 pips. That is not going to be the low of the London session when it opens like that. So if it pushes up and it pushes up not like further into a lovely area that you've got flagged, then you can actually trade towards that open, because you should be pretty confident that there's going to be a lower low. Okay, we'll go to the next day. Opens up impulsively, just pushes straight up, hits a zone. It's not the low of the session. The low of the sessions there's wicks on the tops and the bottoms of sessions. A London session anyway. That's the probability game. This day, doesn't open impulsively. It doesn't open impulsively, so we'll skip that one. This day opens impulsively, pushes straight up, about 60 pips. It's not the low of the session. Price then rejects some level to the left, and then pushes down. Okay, we'll go again. This is the day that it didn't. It opened impulsively, went straight down. We never made a new high. So that's the probability that some days aren't going to work out. Then we get to the next day. Didn't open impulsively. Really struggled to open with any sort of conviction. So skip that day. Go forward to the next day. This is Thursday last week. pushed down a little bit impulsively, then it came up, so there was no real conviction here either. So we're looking for days that open really strong to get a clear read. Friday opens really impulsively, no bottom wick, pushes up, not going to be the low of the session. Price eventually comes down, makes a new low. Monday, bloody Monday. Monday opened, pushed straight down. I was hoping it was just going to push straight up. Anyway, pushed straight down, came back up, then made it broke the high, then it pushed down further. Yesterday, opened impulsively, no top wick, straight down into a zone of interest, not the high of the session. So that's what we're hoping for. Well, that's what I'm hoping for initially, is to see signs of an institutional move to grab liquidity. If it opens no bottom wick, no top wick, sorry, and then just pushes straight down, pretty comfortable that later on at some stage in this day, there will be a new high. So if it pushes down and I do have an area of interest, a zone of interest that it's reacting from, I would look to trade it back up, because my ultimate bias with equities, or was bullish until this week, we're starting to get a new narrative is creeping in. But still, if I see an impulsive push, maybe because it's such a strong downtrend, if we get an impulsive push to the upside, maybe hits the Asian 50%, start showing rejections, I would think that we should make a new low, but we'll see. What is? Are you currently selling gold? No, I'm not. I'm not in any trade yet. I'm waiting for London Open to start. Strategy do I use? Like liquidity style and sessions, support resistance, and then I've got some. Just look for lower time frame, good looking candles. Someone's got a silly question. Let's go for it. I thought you were Johnny at first. Johnny Sims. I don't know who that is. All right. Zoom people, what do you think?
I've been getting some good little scalps on this push down, just buying it when it creates a support.
Yeah.
But not. I had some zones marked out, and we did have reactions off them, but it's pushing down deeper. So
had all these zones. Had all these zones that so long ago that I need to extend them all across now.
yeah, I've just gone and deleted them, and I'll go back through as we get closer to them.
Yeah.
Just looking a bit messy.
Yeah, it is. It's looking aggressive to the downside. So
it's just been too aggressive, if that makes any sense. It's had no significant pullback. 20 pips is the biggest pullback I've measured.
yeah, there's fear creeping in.
Mm.
Optimism is slowly but surely starting to wane, and we're starting to see, like when there's fear in the market, it just drops. Okay. Anyway, so this was the last little area of structure that price could push through, and we already had the reaction from the top, so it's likely that when it gets down to this area again, that it wasn't going to react. It was just going to go straight through, and now we're looking to see if there was any sort of support from underneath here. We're getting a little bit of support, but if what I'd like to see is London actually just open and push straight into this next green zone. I'd like to see that, because that way I'd be willing to take a scalp long. This green area started from over. Oh, sorry, Glenn.
No, that wasn't for you. That was for me. Because I've had your screen on, so I was just measuring things on your screen.
Oh, okay. So see how like price here pushed up into this area, came down, sat as a support, and pushed up, consolidated for a little bit, and then broke below this green line, held as resistance, and then dropped. So this is why I've got this this green zone, that we can get a little bit of price to pause around the zone. Okay, it paused a little bit, but that to me is, if it's leaving this low, that's the next area that it's going to go to. So that's a decent range. So if we've got quick fingers and aggressive, there is a 43 pip range if you do like to take those sort of breakout sells. I don't really want to do that though myself.
Just pumped up 15 pips.
Yeah.
Got me out of my pineapple.
Your pineapple.
Yeah.
You gave it a pineapple, did you?
I usually do. When I get in a golfing candle, I'll follow that direction. But I anticipate a 20 pip or 10 to 15 pip move. So if it gets that, that's good enough for me. Especially when we've got all of these resistances and we keep getting lower and lower.
Yeah. What's my bias for today? So, having to process this Asian session. Yeah, I'm not really too keen on locking myself into a bias, but at the moment, I don't want to buy it right now. Not right now. We don't really have any news. We've got Euro final CPI. Actually, it's all yellow folder. What's financial juice saying?
We've got some speakers in half an hour.
Oh, look at these guys. Jesus. Whole bunch of speakers. We've got the Harry Potter guy. We've got Simkis, Vasley, Cipollone, and then President Lagarde's already spoke. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna look at the price action. So at the moment we're seeing lower highs. So I guess the first thing is a structure break. But I'd like to see it pull back at least come back to like the Asian 50%.
We've got a few engulfing candles forming down on the 1 and 3 minute chart.
Maybe even it retests this this green area again, because that is like your London low. And it's getting close-ish to the Asian 50%. And it has pushed down quite a bit. So let's see if London can, in 2 minutes, if it's failing to break lower, I'm going to go for a buy. Keep my stop low, small, risk small. But like these no wick candles, yeah, if London can actually push down and then like really give a bit of hesitation and then start, like if it hesitates to break these lows, I wouldn't mind at least taking a trade back up to see if it can get up to this area. 30-minute candle is going to actually flip bullish now. So I wonder if we can actually...
Hi guys.
Hey Chris. I wonder if this level's going to hold.
I was just looking at the daily swings, the way Akshay looks at them.
Yeah.
And if you look at yesterday's swing, yesterday's candle, it wicked down, but it closed just above that last higher high. That makes sense. On the daily, at is it 6? I'll tell you that it was a
this one, yeah.
doji back on July 31st, 23. High 16,531.
Oh, here's the open.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So it has this candle. Today's candle's really driven down through that because it bounced around there a couple of times on the that line 16. Like I said, 16,531 on the Wednesday the 3rd, and then the next day it sort of formed a support, then rallied up, came back down, touched it again, and yesterday's pretty well closed, pretty close to it, but now it's driven right through it. So I don't know, maybe, who knows? Don't know.
So I'm going to see if this...
It seems quite significant.
Yeah.
Area that.
I find it's driven down so much already.
Yes.
I'm keen to see if this level does indeed hold. This red section. Yeah, I agree.
What's the left?
Forever Young saying when price falls in the Asian session so much, there's a high probability that it does correct some of it. To the left, to this grey section is I'm just going to watch price at the moment. I really want to see how these candles are moving.
Yep. Okay.
And then, because I would like to see at least, there's no impulsive move, so it hasn't started with no wick, so that's a little bit, like if it opened with no wick and just went straight down, I'd have much more confidence to trade it back up, but it hasn't.
Yes.
It's opened with, it's got wicks on both sides, so this first minute doesn't show like an immediate institutional push. And if it's given another, if this is candle's closing, it's given another like wick rejection from the top side. Still very, very early days, so. But if it is consistently making lower highs, then the buyers aren't here just yet. I do like the 30-minute though, that did create a support. 30-minute closed, creating a 30-minute support. So is the next candle going to eventually fade this one out and keep on dropping lower? Or is this current candle going to push down, and then I'll change the color. So is it going to push down, break its own low a little bit, and then start to push back up, and then flip bullish, and then come back up to like say here, because we can still maintain that bearish run, but obviously we can't just keep on going down forever unless for November. So that's looking good for this reversal just right now. So I want to see came back and took this no wick candle. I'd like to see it actually just push down and then just reject again. If it does that, I'd feel more comfortable taking these longs. I'm not going to hold trades for like, I'll make sure I can get the risk out of the trade, whether that's move to break even or whether that's just to take a little bit of, get in the trade, take a little bit of profit off the table and leave stop loss where it is. Tom, did you eat all the chocolate, mate, from your wife?
I was working from home and had a lunch break, and I may have got the chocolate out while I was watching some tennis.
It's funny. So my partner was like, so like looked in the cupboard yesterday. We had two digesters left. And she's like, she thought there was another packet, so she was like, eating them yesterday. Like one more. I'm like, just like, leave it for coffee tomorrow. And then she didn't. And then when she went to get another packet out, and then she realized there's only one digestive left for each. And then she was like, if you should, do we have no more white digestives? What we said, we agreed that we weren't going to buy anymore because when we were in Portugal, her dad fed us a lot, so we're on diet.
1 minute's looking good for a little bit of a push. So take out this. Don't worry about that. We've got these here.
Yeah, I got no conviction yet.
Took that one in.
issue is any move that happens could be short-lived when one of these guys starts talking. Who knows what they're going to say. So UK CPI came in hot for CPI, so it actually rose, but then the leading sort of inflation figure, arguably leading indicator, PPI, came in quite a lot, quite down. So that's actually like a big drop in producer side inflation. So that should trickle down to consumer side later on. So the price of goods being made now should creep into consumers at a, not at a lower rate, but just haven't risen as fast. So it's good for the inflation side. It's just whether that everyone wanted inflation to come down and productivity to come down to help with the inflation battle, but it's a real fine line before those readings coming down start leading into recession fears, which is not good for equities. What's gold doing?
Pushing down.
Oh, is it?
Just pull back.
Nah, it's been pushing up.
No.
I'm talking about the bigger move from these lows. 2017 rose nearly 100 pips at the Asian 50% at the moment, which we're finding that little rejection. Thanks, Andre.
Yeah,
appreciate that, buddy.
He's corrected.
You want to see that part corrected?
Mm.
Well, if it's been moving down strongly, and you can say that these impulsive moves, if we're starting to slow down, you want to see them being corrected. If they're leaving impulsive move and then basing, and then impulsive move down and then basing, and then really struggling to get back up into these areas, you know that there's a lot of downward pressure. So we're not even really coming back and equalizing. So at the moment, the downward pressure is very strong. Quite keen to see what happens under here. If we get that sharp impulsive drop. I'll treat this as a buy zone. So I think if it gives us that really sharp drop all the way down, price has moved a long way already, very, very early in the day. In the day, not just the UK day, but like the trading day as a whole. So you would have New York session still to come, and having a day that's already moved down 1 point of the total day, it would have moved down, getting close to 1.5%. It's very difficult for New York to continue that move without having some sort of pullback. So they might be bearish as well based on whatever's driving this move down, but it's very difficult for New York volatility, New York volume, to get its typical range further to the downside if price is already down here. Does that make sense? So price is often going to do a correction, so you can get a still big New York range, but it gets very difficult for it to start trading more than 1.5% down for the day. So I'll be looking at this area as buy area. FTSE is crumbling as well. Who's here? Well, unless something dramatic happens in the second half of January, it's not looking very good for this monthly candle. A lot of the time, the January sets up the year. Like this was January last year. This was January the year before. So bearish January. Monthly flows to the downside. Bullish January, had a good year. January, this one's the outlier. Bearish January, had a good year. Oh, was that? No, it wasn't COVID. Bearish January. Anyway. Marin, your reaction zone is between 367 and 380. So this area, yeah. Who's thinking of selling? Who's thinking of buying? Let's get a bit of a poll.
I'm looking for buys, but I'm looking for sells from up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sells higher.
Even the Asian low.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have you ever heard of? I've been listening to a few pundits over time in the crypto area that Bitcoin's a leading indicator for the economy because it's such a volatile asset.
Oh,
have you heard that?
No, but listen to a few of the crypto cases.
That Bitcoin's topped out. There's one guy I like a lot. His name's Blockchain Backer.
Okay.
Pretty good analysis. He reckons that it's topped. That's it.
Really? Gosh.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, he's a real contrarian. I mean, everyone else is going, we're going to,
There was a Scaramucci
ridiculous
guy,
numbers.
and he reckons that he had something saying that Bitcoin was going to get to, I think, 170,000 or something like that. This is the guy that I think he got fired. He got hired by Trump and fired by Trump in 9 days or something like that. Another view that ETFs always put downward pressure on underlying asset. Yeah, this ETF thing was a bit interesting. There's one view that it made it a lot easier for having this ETF. It was a lot easier for some of these holders to sell their position. Few people called it for that buy the rumor, sell the news. What's difficult about selling here, even though it's looking so bearish, is we've dropped so far. It's really difficult to sell something that's moved so far. But do you want to buy something when we still haven't really broken structure? Done a little break. We are getting these wick rejections. Kind of keen just to see a fast move. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. If I see a fast move to the upside or a fast move to the downside, that'll get me really interested, because I'd like to see that fast move faded out. Fast move is the false move. One of the guys that I was listening to about Bitcoin as well had a good case about how when you look at everything in relation to GDP and you look at everything in relation to inflation, is that the only thing that actually has been showing increase in value is the crypto assets.
Yeah.
Like you look at the best investment with like the market, going with with business, with stocks, that's keeping up with inflation. So you are building a little bit of wealth, but you're not really getting significantly ahead, and everything else is in terms of productivity is actually on the down. So it was an interesting case. I'm not sure how much I believe it, but it was interesting to actually say, like, don't even compare, because you compare your portfolio with the value of a fiat currency. So it looks like the stock market's doing well because the fiat currency is not doing so well. But even like when you look at all cost of living and inflation and productivity, even the stock market, you're only keeping your head above water. You're never actually really getting ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was listening to that. What's his name? Raoul Pal, macroeconomist guy, and he reckons, basically they're cutting our lunch by about 15% per annum.
So if you're making 15%, your head's you're treading water.
Your nose is just above the waterline.
Yeah. So I'm kind of buying a car right now. So we've been looking, and one of the things that came up, which is annoying recently, is in the UK, £40,000 is considered a luxury car. Anything above that, so you've got to pay a luxury car tax on anything above 40,000. And that figure was introduced 7 years ago, 40,000, and it's still there now. So you can imagine how many cars in 7 years with inflation and how much everything's gone up.
A scooter. You can buy a scooter.
So now so many more cars are creeping into that luxury car tax. I was like,
Let's put it on. They never take it off.
Yeah. They haven't.
In Australia, we've got they put a tax on fuel. This is about 20 years ago, and it's still there. It was a special purpose tax. Still there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, and the other thing as well is like the other thing is I'm not a huge fan of buying a new car. Sarah she would like to get a new one, but I bought a new car and I find it's such a waste of money. So I'm happy to buy one that's a couple years old, or like like I want a safe, reliable car. I want one that's we need to get a bigger car now. So much more extra stuff we've got to carry around, and so we test drove yesterday. We went to check out the Sportage, and it was the new one, and then she was talking about what like the mild hybrid, the hybrid, the full hybrid, self-charging hybrid, and because I wanted to keep it under 40,000, so we saw one that they had which was 2023 and it was 38,000. So we're like, great. What's the, like, we wanted to check out, we wanted to go and see it, and then she said yes, but because it was registered above 40,000 because of the trim, you've got to pay that luxury car tax for the next 5 years. It doesn't matter when you buy it, it's just when it mattered when the car was registered. So even if you buy a used car, you still got to pay that luxury car tax, even if you buy it like 4 years ago. It's not much. Like, in the whole scheme of things, it's not enough to change our decision. It's just if we can avoid it, we would like to. And one of the other models that we liked, which was new, was 40,600 if you wanted the sensors or some trim level, some little detail. So you'll be paying £500, £510 a year just in this luxury car tax because you got one little detail which pushed it up to 40,000. Like if you wanted a different color paint, if you want the metallic paint kind of thing, it would bump it up just above. So annoying. What's the equivalent of ABN in the UK? Not sure. I think it's just, yeah, I'm not sure what the actual acronym is, but I know what you're saying. If you're registered for VAT purposes as well for business, you can get a lot of that off. Yeah, the taxes in UK, many luxury car tax. No, I keep everything domiciled in Australia. Yeah. Did I get any new trades after the loss from yesterday? No, the loss was Monday. Monday was the loss. Yesterday was good. Yesterday was wins. Yeah, no, yesterday we got the buys from here. It was inside of here. Look at this on the 5-minute chart. There was a nice engulfing bullish candle from here. Yeah, Monday was I was reflecting on Monday. I think because I had a good weekend. I had a good weekend, really bullish in the market, and took a risky trade anticipating London was going to go up. It went down. Broke my rule of entering before London. Yeah, this country, I think every country is the same. This UK country loves the tax. Yeah, Jimmy, we'll that's the plan. That's the plan eventually. We are going to be there next month for a month. So, and then when we have our second, we're going to take the entire maternity leave for a year, extended maternity in Australia. So if we really get settled, we just won't come back to the UK. We'll lease this place out. We'll rent this place that we have, and I've got a place in Australia. We'll just move into that. We'll put the renters out. We'll move back into that. We'll rent this one out, and we'll just spend the whole year. Well, when we can, as soon as the baby can travel, then we'll go. Rayma, yeah, I am looking at NAS. Not for this session though. What is it doing? Oh, look at this for New York. London lows right there. Yeah, I'll look at this for New York. I'm keen for New York session. It's in Sydney. My place is on the coast. Because Sydney's expensive. We literally have to sell everything. We've got a place in Portugal, we've got a place in the UK, and we've got a place in Central Coast. And I'd have to sell all of them to live in Sydney, to buy in Sydney. Sydney's crazy. Yeah.
God's country.
What was that, Glenn?
God's country.
God's country, yeah. No, I love Sydney. Like we're gonna base ourselves around probably like lower North Shore, like northern beaches. That's the area that I've spent most of my time. I wish I bought there when I was younger, but now it's just so hard to get in. All right, come on.
I just want those clean candles.
Don't buy a car until you get back to Oz. Yeah, we need one though, that's the problem. Nice little sweep of that low. Definitely a seller's trap.
Alright, someone's speaking.
Yeah, here we go. What are they going to say, man? These people, hey, as if they don't give a little hint, hint, nudge, nudge before they speak. That's what these someone was asking about that Davos summit yesterday, which is still going. This World Economic Forum annual meetings. These are all the billionaires get together and have a chat. And it's so many conspiracy theories that come out from this, like the global reset and all that. And it's it's probably everyone's thinks that it's like global domination and how they're going to control everything. It could just be a group of could just be a business forum, like a boring one. that everyone just follows and thinks like it's not. I don't know. I think it's. I don't think it's as evil as it's meant to be, but I can't think a room full of billionaires is going to be good for the general population.
Oh,
All right.
conversation, make him $1 billion. Wipe
Yeah.
it right out.
Yeah, just a little, like if you could just know something a few minutes before it happens, so powerful.
Just insinuate something and know that it's incorrect.
Yeah, don't have to go through the official channels where people like, how many people, like, can you really expect two billionaires will have a conversation, just pick up a phone call without having like a team of people to organize a conversation that you don't know? Like that constantly. There'll be so many people involved in just organizing a meeting. Schwab came from nowhere, convinced people listen. Oh, okay. That yeah. He's like the unofficial elected leader, isn't he? All right, if we can get something closing from underneath here now, I think we would get that push. And I'd love to see this push into an acceleration to then look for, even if it's just going to be a correction at this stage. I'd love to see just something to accelerate out of this area, or this area. Yeah, 5G, mind control, COVID-19 2.0. This guy I was listening to said it's like a group of lizard men. You got 30-minute with imbalance at the top. This bad boy. Okay, what's this person talking about? Nothing really. So with all this uncertainty of where it's going to go, playing the range is not a bad option. Damn, what a fizzer for this open. It's been alright, 50 pips. It's just when you, in relation to the move that's happened, it actually doesn't look like it's done a whole lot. But 50 pips is a good little range. Now, I think the main thing to ask ourselves is, where do we think price can go today from here? And like that's kind of where I would be thinking. My bias. Do I think that price? I think price can get down to here. If there's more, if we do get more information that adds to the narrative of recession or fear, I think we can still dip down lower. But look at the size of some of these candles. Like, we get some massive bullish candles, we get some massive bearish candles, but most of the time it's actually not that. Like, this is a fairly large candle already. So if price is really pushing down all the way, and we haven't even got to New York session yet, I can't see New York just being a clean drop further without having at least some sort of pullback. So that's why I'm pretty keen to trade from like the edges of where I think price can go. Like, if it does push down to this green area, I think we're going to get a good little opportunity for a scalp. Okay, now going down to, like, say the London session, I'll just use 30-minute for example. Where do I think the London session can go? London session typically is going to be, lately, it sits around, we've got volatility again, that we should be able to get somewhere between 100 pips of range for this London session. So where's that 100 pips going to be? Do we think it's going to be, like, that's the low, and now we're going to go up 50 pips? If that's the case, then I'd be trying to get into longs for like 50 pips. Or if I think it's going to go down further, I think the upside, sorry, not going to say upside. I think the risk reward play is waiting for it to buy. I think, given how we've moved so much, I think the risk reward play is for buys. It's just where you buy from, that's the problem. What's the right capital to go full-time trading? It depends on your expenses. Morning, Heath. Yeah, the reason I go back to Sydney though is because of my daughter. So it's good for her to be around family, friends. So we've got friends here in the UK, but we don't have any family. So when we spent time, we just spent 3 weeks in Portugal with her other side of the family. It's so good for her. So then we've got to choose, is it Australia or is it going to be Portugal that we move to? And Australia's got a better economy. Portugal's great, but good for me to work there, because I can work anywhere. For Sarah to work, if she wants to work, it's not as good. No, my Portuguese is terrible. I can understand a lot of their words, but they speak so fast. So I get the gist of what they're speaking about and I pick up some words, but then my accent's awful. Anyway, learning it still. Learning it with my 3-month-old daughter. She's better than me.
All broke support.
Yeah, so it just dropped out under that 24. Where did it get up to? 20, 26. Clean candles now. Clean candles to the downside.
Yeah. On two pieces around 2160.
21.60. Oh yeah. Why do a lot of traders lose money? What do you mean, sorry, Andre? Why do a lot of traders lose money? Is the Instagram trading lifestyle?
Read.
You asked me, is that a question, or you mean like you're saying that they do because they live that, they try to live that Instagram style? Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, it depends on your savings and how much you spend. Because like, it's hard when you first make the transition to trade full time, and you've really got to like make money from trading. It's hard. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. So you need to have. When I went full time, I had enough for a couple of years to live off a couple of years, and then the first time I went full time, I found it really difficult to trade profitably because I didn't have another source of income coming in. So that was like back in 2018, 2019. So I got a job just to make sure I had like that bit of a safety barrier, and that helped mentally to trade. And then when I went full time, I got much more used to trading to survive, and I still had like a couple years that I could support myself. So then that was the main thing, and it was slowly building up from there. Like I don't have any expenses though, that's the thing. So like we've worked hard, we've done well, we own our house outright, we own a few places outright, we do get rental income. So now I've got enough of a safety barrier of no debt whatsoever, that I just need to make sure that we keep the lights on, we keep food on the table, and that I just turn a profit. And like what I do with all my profits, I start investing into my profits. I don't let my account size get too big ever. I always withdraw. I always put that money into investments, make that money work. We get like dividend payouts from shares, so I've got that source of income as well. So like it takes a lot of pressure. I can really relate to people that go in full time, really desperate to make it work, because it does take longer. The more pressure you put on yourself, the harder it gets. So if you haven't got many expenses and you've got like a source of income, I think it's a lot easier to relax into trading and do it consistently, because not every day is going to be a profitable day. That's for sure. You know, you've already seen this week I've had Monday was not a good day, Tuesday was a good day. And then it was the same as last week. Last week, my Thursday and Friday, first trade I took was a loss, second trade was a win for both sessions, for the New York session and London session. So I was even getting like towards the end of last week, I was only hitting like 50% of the trades. Thankfully though, like the risk reward for my strategy it's better than 1-to-1. So when I do take a loss, but if I take a win straight afterwards, it is better. It does affect my first trade though as well. Like I do try make sure that I finish each day positive, but I'm not going to force it and kill myself to make each day positive. But make sure you've got, I would say always keep a job when you're trying to go full time. Make sure you've got a source of income, and make sure you've got enough to support yourself for a couple of years. Because you think about it, even if you start being able to pull in, like say $100 a day from trading, and that's you can have a really small account and do that. But that $100 a day really starts to, like, that's $500 a week. You know, when you think about it, that's like $26,000 a year. That's a huge help. That's just from $100 a day. People that try and make like 10,000 or 20,000 in a day, you've really got to slowly work on your mind to build up that risk tolerance. And if you're trying to make like 20,000 a day, you're probably going to need to have $500,000 to $1 million in your account, unless you're like going super big on your lot sizes. But if you want to like maintain decent risk reward, if you want to maintain like decent risk exposure, then you've got to have a big account. That takes time to build. What was your target, Glenn? 2060 for gold.
Yeah, I took it a little bit early when it wicked up really rapidly. But yeah, it moved down another 12 pips.
Oh, this got you, did it, when it pulled back a bit on you?
Yeah, I was just trailing
Sure.
the stop. But I anticipated some reactions here. So I think this week got me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, you know Alpha?
Yeah.
When you're are you still trading that?
Yeah.
So you can only go in if you're in a trade already, you can only add to that trade with the same lot size or lower. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
What if you're in profit?
No, that's fine. It's only if you're in drawdown.
Oh, I see.
But that's where the martingale comes in. So martingale is scaling in higher to a losing position than your original trade. So
Yep.
let's say you're in whatever 10 pips drawdown and you put 2 lots on or whatever, and to try and make up the difference you put 4 lots on. That's breach.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was wondering if
But
if that rule
You could stack your
was
positions though.
sorry.
You could stack your positions though. Let's say you did go into 10 pips drawdown and your original trade was whatever 2 lots. Just press trade.
2 lots twice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, mate, you machine gun it, and it doesn't make any difference because each individual trade was still equal to the original trade value.
Yeah, I gotcha. I was wondering if it was the other way as well. If you couldn't add to a winning position, like bigger.
No. But again, because I've got a fixed lot set, I'll just press a button a couple of times.
Yep.
You're still scaling in, and you can still scale in and double or triple or quadruple your original size. You just pressing the button a few more times.
Yeah. Makes
And that
sense.
way you like I said, you're getting the best of both worlds. There's laser and everything, Haydos.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, so they do allow stacking, but they don't allow martingale.
Yeah.
Even though essentially you're doing the exact same thing. Having said that, I've never been breached, so I have martingale before by mistake, because I trade gold and German, so I accidentally, yeah.
Oh, Manny's saying that it's the third, like 3 strike rule. They'll give you 2 warnings.
only in stage 1. In stage 2, it's once there is no 3 strikes.
Right.
And once funded, you don't get 3 strikes either.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Tom,
Yes.
TCT doesn't do that, does it?
No, there's no rules with TCD. No, it's just a blanket 5%.
No rules, no
from your
drawdown. Yeah. Gosh, man, this sucks today.
I'm not loving it. I'm up 10%.
10%. Just trading the range
That's
of these
nice,
little
Glenn.
moves.
I love ranging.
I was in profit and it hit the Asian high, and I should have secured that. And then my average was not far below it. So now I've just gone
Oh, yeah.
Asian high. I don't know if it's going to go past that. So
I was only trading long up until the Asian low, and now I'm only trading shorts.
sorry, European high. I meant Asian low.
Asian low.
The yellow, the high of the yellow. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes short from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not bad what Glenn was saying, that was only looking for longs until a session had been connected.
Yeah.
And now it says, Edwin, no, I'm not in anything.
This candle, that was a pretty big giveaway of potential direction, at least to the next support.
Yeah.
I said if it projects higher than that support, then
then we're in no means no. We could
Lovely
do anything.
3-minute candle. Do I trade ICT concepts? No, I don't. But there will be crossover. For sure. There's crossover in everything.
mindful of this trend line liquidity here. And we've got that.
So what's the 30-minute candle going to do? Oh, sorry, mate. I'll go back.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so I'm just mindful of this consolidation. What time is it? No, they've already spoken.
there's another guy coming soon.
Really?
So the Simkis is on next.
Oh, yeah. Just-
All right.
Leave it off 5 minutes.
So this one, he was a bit hawkish. Saying premature to expect cuts start of second quarter. Labour market still robust but need caution of wages. Need to see fiscal policy supporting disinflation, so they're higher for longer. That's two. I was wondering if I take a little sell, just trade this range.
Wait for the trend line to be broken. We're still inside that 30-minute order block from way over here. It goes up to the Asian 50%.
Asian 50%.
Yeah, so zoom right out. You'll see it on the 30-minute.
You sure?
Yep.
Well, I've got a lot smaller.
You got to go right out. So if you draw a box around this whole section, we're still contained within inside of that. Sorry, I've gone up a bit higher, mate. Basically the London zone from that day. Yeah. Take you up below it.
Yeah, my 50%'s a lot lower. Oh, a lot higher.
The London zone, the last London session before that, yeah, up.
I don't see that as part of it still. All right, man, gosh. Only looking to take 1 or 2 trades. This one, don't see anything here yet. What I'm going to do at 9 o'clock now, my time, I'm going to continue on my channel will keep on going, but Trading Nuts channel, we're at the end. So if you guys want to keep on waiting here with me, then come to my channel. All right, so I'll just pop up the name. Okay, search with that. We'll keep on going. Waiting to try and get our trade for the session. If I don't see it, I'll see you later on. All right. Okay, take care.
Hotline broken. Lower high and the pin line's broken.
Yep. Come on. Anyone else give that a shot?
Hmm?
Did anyone else give that a shot?
I was in up higher, but this is my support now, so I'm just.
I pushed the button and it didn't trigger. I don't know what that means, if that's a sign.
Oh. It means in 30 seconds you'll hear a gunshot.
It was reacting from here as I was closing another stream. I was like, yep, sell. Give it a shot. And I'm not sure if I missed the button to the side or for some reason it just didn't take it. So now I'm not in anything still. And annoying. It's gone down, that little move down was 20 pips.
Yeah.
What's that meaning about Trading Nut? Doesn't have any drawdown. Tom is with TCT, the concept trading, and they don't have any rules. So they're saying is the only rule is just not to hit the drawdown limit. So there is drawdown, but the rule is to not hit. The only rule that they say is not to hit your drawdown. Yeah.
Not hit max drawdown. It's not daily drawdown. It's not.
Oh, they don't have a
No.
daily and max either.
No.
They've got a tight drawdown limit though. That's the thing, isn't it?
It's just from your starting balance when you get that particular funded account, whether you've scaled up or scaled down, or well, sorry, when you've scaled up, that's it.
It's 5%,
So-
isn't it?
5%.
Yeah, so it's not a lot of
When you
room to
start
play
with
with.
$800.
Scales fairly quickly too.
How many is it? 5% of scales?
I'm not sure. I have to ask Tom that one.
Let's go to it. I'm not on other streams now that are sponsored. Every 7%. Oh wait,
The other thing too, you're on a live. Once you get past that very first stage,
yeah, you're on
You're
live
on-
accounts.
Yeah.
So 5%, 7%, 9%. So it depends on which one you choose.
Yeah.
So scale up to 7.5 million, scale to 20 million, scale to 2 million, 3/3 traditional.
there's a lot of stages in them, but
It's good leverage as well.
Mm.
Yeah, internal accounts demo, level 1 high on live. Who do they take? Do they take American people?
both American and Australian dollars you can buy in with.
Yeah, they
If you
definitely would
start-
want to do US dollars to take, but do they accept US clients?
Question. Maybe they used to.
I don't know if they would. Maybe they would, but they'd want to be careful. Want to be careful allowing US clients to trade with leverage on some of these securities. Otherwise, the SEC will want to have a good look if they get too big. Industry leading reputable executing broker. Who's the broker?
I can't pronounce the name.
That's a good start.
Nah, it's
Oh, I see.
There's another actual prop firm that's Eddie's testing out that use the same broker.
Kabura.
Yeah. Sales are running nice. Hey Tom, can you send me a screenshot of the spreads? Do you know how to do that with the in the market watch indicator, market watch window?
Yeah, you do.
Yep, hang on.
So I'm guessing that's a pip. Oh, Dow's high.
Yeah, 1.04, I think.
1.04, yeah. Okay. 1.9 for gold, that's fairly standard. 2 pips for NAS. Dow's high, 3.5. But German's good.
Crazy how much variation there is between the brokers, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. So my...
No commissions either.
No commissions. My NAS, yeah, it's higher than my Pepperstone. For Dow, but I'll have to check on the New York session if it does come down a bit. But German's good. All right. Versus this one. Alpha 1.3, 0.8, 0.6. See, these spreads are really good. They kind of concern me, eh? They concern me how good they are.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought about my Forex ones. It's like, man, these spreads are lovely. And you wonder how they can compete and get such good spreads. It was because it wasn't actually they weren't actually using the liquidity provider really.
Apparently, if you believe the news or not, they've just been approved to actually fund, like, you can actually put money into ACG now.
Like a public offering. As an investor.
No. Use that broker as a proper broker. It is a demo feed, and they've made it clear that it is.
But you can give them money to trade on their feed.
You can use ACG as your liquidity broker or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again,
So they're taking the other side of your trade. All right. Looks like we're going downtown now. Beautiful move.
grab that liquidity, build it up, and then drop.
Yep. Came back up. Liquidity candle. Doji. Retest. Close lower. And nice. Now I want to see this continue lower. I want to see it eventually break out of here. And then start traveling down towards the green zone. Gold would have hit your full target.
It would have been.
Equities is coming down, so it looks like London. There was no real takeoff from London, so just very slowly. US conducted strikes in Yemen. We need to see 1 quarter inflation wage data. So you can start to see there's a few more headlines starting to creep in. Tesla cuts Model Y prices in Europe. Ooh, there we go, Tesla. I like the Y.
Recharge it.
Small little thing. The X is the best one for like. That's real. Sorry. What is it? SUV. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that is it.
Get a Cybertruck.
Like, look how nice it is. What's their range? The range is huge, but still a nightmare. to what is it? Yeah, because we're driving to France in March, and I was just thinking, like, if you got a plug-in hybrid or electric vehicle, you can't do that. It's absolutely awful. Imagine that, like, driving. I mean, Tesla's different because they got fast charge, but there was one that we looked at, the DS7 that we test drove on the weekend. That one, it takes like 7 hours to charge. So it's good having a hybrid because you can, like, you know, if you've got no electric battery, if the battery runs out of charge, you can still run on petrol, but the battery is so heavy that your fuel consumption just goes out the window. Yeah, so we would make stops with the baby, but not 7-hour stops. And then you've got to find a charging station all the time. I just don't think the infrastructure's okay in many countries for it. Like, where I live, they've already taken money from, in the last few years, for the service charge to put electric sockets around. But you got to think about it, like, are they going to put electric bays, or are you going to put electric sockets everywhere? So am I going to be able to charge my car from where I park it underneath the building? Like, who's going to monitor them all? If I've got to park my car, charge it, and then think about moving my car like 3 hours later, it's going to be such a pain. I think they've got fast chargers over here, but I don't think all cars can take fast chargers. I think some are slow. And you still got to pay to charge your car anyway. So spending hours to charge your car versus the 15 minutes it takes to just put fuel in it. I saw this article in Chicago. It was so cold that they even their Teslas weren't charging because it was just so cold. So people had to abandon their cars. Okay, so I'm looking for this to keep on driving down now for another like 30 pips.
Did you end up pulling the trigger?
I did, yeah.
Good job.
Okay, let's keep on going. Every 5 minutes now, I just want to see it make lower lows and lower highs. Oh, you saw a Mustang with a baby seat? my friend that we went and had lunch with on Sunday, he's got a Mustang. Such a nice car. As I was talking to him about hybrid, you can just see the look on us. Like, these people that love their cars. You talk about hybrids and electric vehicles. I'm like, Aldo, you like cars? Like, what do you think about this? He's like, I don't know nothing about electric. Yeah, his neighbor has a Corvette. A Corvette from 2002 that has 12,000 miles on it.
drove it out the driveway every now and then.
I don't know why you have a car that you don't drive.
His arms would have done more miles bloody washing it.
Yeah, it's in pristine condition. It'll be like, it's one of those things that you wait long enough, and that car's not going to stop losing value. It's not going to keep losing value. It's going to start becoming a collector's item, won't it? Especially like when all petrol cars are banned. A pristine condition, 2002, 21 years old. And like 30, if it keeps in good condition at 30 years old, that car will be like a collector, won't it? Okay, come on. So we are at this London high. So this is right now, this yellow line is where we've just touched. So we touched the London high, pulling back a little bit. So maybe I won't wait for it to get to the green section. Maybe 342. Oh, yearly, yeah, I don't even think about yearly rego. Breaking these highs now. I think maybe we're getting to the end of the low of the session. So I think for this pullback, if it's just going to be a pullback, this is a maximum pullback.
The previous support over here.
Yeah, but this is the little range that I've got. So if we look closer on the 4 minute, we've got a rejection wick from the top side, finally rejecting that euro high, Asian low. Then we had this one also reject from the downside, respecting this. So this was a little support that this one eventually broke through. So I'm going to continue. If price pushes up into this area, if I get more rejection wicks, I'm going to preference looking for sells still. So anywhere from, like, this is the little range breakout, and I think this is still just a retest. If we close inside of it and then push up, as long as we don't close outside of this area, I'm still going to hold this sell bias. So I'm going to wait and see if I can add to the sell side position, but I need to see if these candles are going to print as like rejection wicks, liquidity candles from the top side. I want to hold out for this green zone to be hit before I would start looking for longs, but this is a London low. Sorry, this is your London high previously that we just burst up. So now that we've come down to it, we could find it hold as a little bit of a contention point. But I'd say, like, until we start breaking highs, I would still be just preferring to sell here. To see this as a potentially a little bit of a after we've got this, it was a fairly nice move in the end, basically 80 pips straight. Now, is this just a correction, or is this going to be a liquidity grab and then we see continuation? So at the moment, I'm just treating this as a correction, but I'm looking for it, willing for it to correct even up to like here. I just don't want to see it close. If it closes above here, then I'm not looking for any more sells. Is that a seller's trap that low? It could be. It could be. It could be a sweep of these equal lows, and this is the sweep. So like looking at the 30 minute now. Looking like a bit of rejection. So I still like to see it like push down a little bit lower before we see that rejection. The thing for me is that apart from these speakers really talking down the market, the data still doesn't support high interest rates. Like it is coming down quite significantly, this inflation battle. The economy is struggling, it's stagnating. So you would think that they're going to try to give the economy a bit of a boost. Oh, thanks, Andre. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. This 4 minute candle is about to close. Let's see if this one is actually indicating sellers jumping back in. what's really nice is if we continue to sell off, it makes it a lot easier for New York to look for those longs.
Gold's showing early signs of some bullishness as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Off the Asian low. Come on. $30-minute candle just closed.
Right. That's support.
Oh, I've missed the last 20 minutes. Let me guess, a give here. Has to be a bullish move soon, you think? Yeah, it feels like the market's just waiting. Have I ever thought about opening a hedge fund in the future? No, not really. I find it stressful thinking about trading other people's money. In a good spot, like work for myself. Don't have to like do these streams. Spend time on the weekend studying with the group. Do a few things here and there. I think adding extra stress is not going to be ideal.
So
What's that?
Having clients suck.
Yeah, dealing with people.
Humans. Humans. Did you ever change your mind, Haydos?
Well, the one thing I need to sort out is getting a proper copy trader, that's for sure. Or some technology to help with that.
Everyone's with the same broker.
Yeah, everyone has to be locked in the same one, that's for sure. Alright, well, we know the plan. Until this level is broken, I'm only looking, for me anyway personally, I'm only looking for shorting opportunities. New York, I'd like to see it sweep London low. If we can close underneath this range, then for New York session, I'd like to see it sweep this London low and then look for reactions from here. But I'll be looking, I say it for German, but I'll be trading NAS more likely, but NAS price action should be fairly similar. If we're back above here, then I'd have to reassess, but I would say you get some good long opportunities. Don't know how long lived they will be for, but trading above here, you've got the Asian 50%. So I think you've got a really nice 50 pip range trading above this area, especially if this is a liquidity grab. So there could be some really good opportunities either way today, I reckon. Either way. Where's Asian 50%? Yeah. So we've got New York low. NY low. And Asia 50%. So leaving this area, I would say you've got a fairly clean range up to so a good 50 pips to at least the New York low. Yeah. It could be really nice. So I think there's going to be a trade for bulls and a trade for bears. At the moment, until this is broken, I would prefer for the short side. Then when we get down to here, down to this area, if New York can sweep it, especially if we get clean candles, I would expect that we see like reactions. Whether it's going to be like to change the trend or it's just pullbacks, either way there should be some good reactions from here. All right, so I'm gonna get going. I'm going to go see what's going on in the other room, and then just let these ideas play out. Alrighty, sound good? So everyone, I'll see you guys I'm probably going to do a New York session today. So I'll see you for New York session, yeah. We don't have anything booked in this afternoon. Cool. Alright guys, take care. Trade safe, keep your risk low. I'll see you
Thanks, mate.
for New York, or I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you, Chan.